Have you ever felt uneasy after a trip to the mechanic, wondering if you truly needed all those repairs? Well, you're not alone. Every year, countless drivers are unknowingly being ripped off by dishonest mechanics, and it's time we shine a light on these shady tactics. In this eye-opening video, we're exposing the top 10 mechanic scams you absolutely need to be aware of to protect yourself and your hard-earned money. Buckle up, because some of these might surprise you. This is a classic and unfortunately still prevalent tactic. You see an advertised special for a very cheap oil change, maybe $29.99 or even less. It sounds like a great deal, right? You bring your car in, and suddenly, the mechanic tells you that your specific vehicle requires a special, much more expensive type of oil that wasn't included in the advertised price. They might claim your manufacturer mandates it, or that using the cheaper oil will damage your engine. Often, this special oil is marked up significantly, turning that enticing cheap oil change into a hefty bill. They might even try to upsell you on other unnecessary services while your car is already there, capitalizing on the fact that you're now feeling obligated to get the oil change done anyway. This scam plays on your desire for a good deal and your fear of damaging your vehicle. Remember, always confirm the exact type of oil your car needs before agreeing to the service, and be wary of deals that seem too good to be true. This is a particularly egregious scam where you're charged for repairs or replacements that were never actually performed. The mechanic might list parts on your invoice that weren't installed or labor for work that wasn't done. This can be incredibly difficult to prove, especially if you're not mechanically inclined. They might show you an old, dirty part and claim it was removed from your car, even if it wasn't. This scam preys on the trust you place in the mechanic and can be incredibly costly. To avoid this, always ask for the old parts to be returned to you after the repair. If they refuse or make excuses, it's a major red flag. Also, get a detailed invoice that clearly lists all parts and labor involved, and don't hesitate to ask for clarification on anything you don't understand. This scam involves convincing you to replace parts that are still perfectly functional or could have been repaired instead. For example, they might tell you that your entire brake caliper needs to be replaced when only the brake pads or rotors are worn. Or they might insist on replacing a perfectly good starter motor when the issue is just a loose connection. This tactic inflates the cost of the repair significantly, as new parts are always more expensive than a simple repair or leaving the original part as is. To protect yourself, get a second opinion from another mechanic before agreeing to any major part replacements, especially if the initial diagnosis feels rushed or unclear. A reputable mechanic should be able to clearly explain why a specific part needs to be replaced and show you the evidence. Mechanics sometimes push for numerous fluid flushes: transmission fluid, coolant, brake fluid, power steering fluid, often without checking the actual condition of the fluids or adhering to the manufacturer's recommended service intervals. While regular fluid flushes are important for maintaining your vehicle, performing them too frequently or unnecessarily is a common way to inflate your bill. They might use scare tactics, claiming that neglecting these flushes will lead to catastrophic and expensive failures down the line. Always consult your car's owner's manual for the recommended fluid change intervals. If a mechanic recommends a flush that seems premature, ask for a reason and don't be afraid to decline if you're unsure. A visual inspection of the fluid's condition can also provide clues about whether a flush is truly necessary. This is a quick and easy way for unscrupulous mechanics to add extra charges to your bill. They'll often show you your air filter, which might have some normal dust and debris on it, and claim it's severely clogged and needs immediate replacement. While a clean air filter is important for engine performance and fuel efficiency, a slightly dirty one isn't an emergency. They might use dramatic language, saying it's restricting airflow and could damage your engine. A genuine need for replacement is usually indicated by a filter that is significantly clogged with dirt, leaves, or other debris. Don't fall for the visual trick. Ask how recently the air filter was replaced and compare it to the recommended replacement interval in your owner's manual. You can often inspect the air filter yourself before taking your car in. Similar to the air filter scam, Mechanics might try to scare you into replacing your brake pads prematurely. They might tell you your pads are dangerously thin and need immediate attention, even if they still have a significant amount of life left. This is a common tactic because brake repairs are generally expensive. They might show you a measurement that seems alarming without providing context or showing you the minimum acceptable thickness. Always ask to see your brake pads yourself. A reputable mechanic should be able to show you the actual thickness and explain why replacement is necessary based on manufacturer specifications. Don't be pressured into immediate replacement if you're unsure. Get a second opinion before shelling out for new brake pads. This scam involves claiming to have found a leak, often exaggerated or even fabricated, and then recommending expensive repairs to fix it. They might point to a small amount of normal condensation or residue and claim it's a serious leak that needs immediate attention. This can be particularly concerning for car owners who aren't familiar with the undercarriage of their vehicle. To avoid this, ask the mechanic to clearly show you the leak and explain the source and severity. If possible, take pictures or videos of the alleged leak. If you're still unsure, seek a second opinion. A genuine leak will usually leave a noticeable puddle or dampness and have a distinct smell depending on the fluid. Mechanics sometimes suggest an alignment is needed even if there are no noticeable symptoms, such as your car pulling to one side, uneven tire wear, or a crooked steering wheel. While wheel alignments are important for tire life and handling, they shouldn't be recommended with every service unless there's a clear indication. They might claim it's part of routine maintenance, even if your owner's manual doesn't specify it. If you haven't hit any major potholes or experienced any handling issues, question the need for an immediate alignment. Ask why they are recommending it, and if they can show you any evidence of misalignment. Unscrupulous mechanics can significantly inflate the cost of replacement parts, marking them up far beyond the typical retail price. This can be difficult for consumers to verify, as they often don't know the actual cost of the parts. To combat this, ask for a breakdown of the parts cost on your invoice. You can also do a quick search online for the average price of the parts they are quoting. While some markup is normal for a business, excessive markups are a red flag. Don't hesitate to ask if they use original equipment manufacturer parts or aftermarket parts, as aftermarket parts are often less expensive. This is a sneaky way for some mechanics to add extra charges to your bill for miscellaneous items like rags, cleaning supplies, and other general shop materials. While these items are necessary for the shop to operate, they should ideally be factored into the overall labor cost, not listed as a separate, often vague fee. If you see a shop supply fee on your invoice, don't be afraid to ask for a detailed breakdown of what it covers. If the explanation seems unclear or excessive, you could try to negotiate it or find a shop that doesn't charge such fees. So, there you have it, 10 common mechanic scams that could be costing you a fortune. Remember, knowledge is your best defense against these shady practices. By being aware of these tactics, you can be more vigilant and ask the right questions when dealing with your mechanic.